Hi, this is Kylie with Fem and Flow. Today I'm going to talk about the huge importance of the chakra systems and why it's so important to ground yourself. This episode flows really nicely with my previous episodes. In the previous episodes, I talk about what we're moving into essentially with our toroidal flow, moving from being in a downward spiral to then being in an upward spiral. And to move into this spot, we really need to do the work on ourselves, release density, really work on raising our own vibration. Because whether our toroidal flow is in an upward spiral or a downward spiral really depends on our own personal resonance. And this will make sense if you listen to my previous episodes. A lot is shifting energetically right now and going on behind the scenes. And to essentially move along with this energy, we really need to make sure our own body's energy system is healthy. We need to truly treat our body like a sacred vessel and the sacred tool that it is. Our body is how we interact in this physical experience and create our reality. So we need to treat it with that kind of importance. We need to protect our energy and be sure we're constantly doing work to align our chakra system and keep it balanced and spinning. Our chakras are essentially energy centers of the body, and each of our chakras have unique aspects and do unique things when it comes to our energy flow. I talk more in depth on the chakras in other episodes, so that might be interesting to you. It seems like we've all been so lied to about our bodies, and we've honestly been taught by society to hate our bodies. We've been taught that they're not good enough and that we need to whip them into shape with high intensity exercise or crash diets. I don't know if you feel that way, but I do when I think about society and diet culture and what is pushed to us. One great thing to do is step away from that narrative and truly recognize that we operate in the Holy Trinity. We have our soul, our consciousness, and our body. Those are three different aspects of us, and we are not tied to this body. Treat your body like a sacred vessel and a sacred tool. And know that you want to nourish your body, protect it, and keep it healthy so it can properly radiate energy in a way that will help you create your reality. I think shifting that mindset is so, so important so you can start treating your body with reverence and give your body so much love. And don't talk negatively about your body or yourself. So, this episode will actually be a pretty short one, but I'm going to be referencing some previous podcast episodes that completely relate to this. So, take that extra time since this episode is short and go back and listen to those again. And this episode, as the title says, it really focuses on the chakra systems and grounding yourself. I get into why it's so important to ground ourselves. But a prerequisite of all of this is truly healing your traumas and getting past any triggers you have. And yeah, sometimes some triggers might come up even though you've done so much healing. Don't ignore those. Just think about why that's coming up and how you can get past that in the moment. That's just a sign where you need to release density. And when we release density, we're bringing in more light. We really want to get to a point where we've released trauma, baggage, and past shadows and triggers. So when things come up, we don't go into fight or flight about it. We don't judge. We can step back, observe, and understand both sides of a situation. And when someone does come at us, we want to be able to transmute that energy essentially and take that negative energy that they're sending us, and instead of coming back with hate, we want to come back with compassion and empathy. Once you start doing that, you know you're on a great healing path. We want to approach situations from a higher perspective rather than getting caught up in ego. If you feel like you still have some trauma there that you need to release, I think meditating, taking walks in nature where you're very mindful, spending time in solitude, and journaling about your situation is really great. You can just do a big journal brain dump kind of thing where you write it all down, you try to see all sides, you talk about why you might feel the way you feel and try to understand what got you into that place, essentially. So, those are some things to do if you're still in that place of holding on to that density and having triggers around trauma. So, like I said, that was a prerequisite to this episode. Now, let's move into the meat of this topic. It's so important to make sure your chakras are all aligned and properly spinning. It's truly important all the time, but especially right when you start connecting to spirituality, exploring the unseen, and working with energy. We may hear some people talk about how to open the third eye chakra, but then forget to mention the importance of the lower chakras and why we must stay grounded. Since the upper chakras connect us to the unseen, the higher realms, they may seem cooler or sexier than the lower chakras that connect us to this physical reality, but they are all equally as important. And we must be properly grounded in this reality to safely explore the unseen. I understand why some people may think the root and lower chakras are less important because they may associate this reality with all of the false matrix illusions, brainwashing, and control. But this is why all of the chakras are equal importance. Yes, with just the lower chakras working, we may be brainwashed and stuck in this illusion. But with the lower chakras blocked and only the upper chakras working, we may get manipulated by unseen fourth dimensional parasitic beings. This can cause people to lose track of what is logical and be led astray. This is one of the spiritual traps I talk about on a separate episode. When this happens, some refer to this as spiritual psychosis. Being grounded and rooted in this reality by your lower chakras doesn't just mean you're logical about this reality. I talked on another episode about the absorption and transmutation of energies and how, on one level, Mother Gaia is the divine feminine energy while humanity is the divine masculine. Mother Gaia literally absorbs negative energy and transmutes it into neutral energy. Then we can take that energy and transmute it into light with our frequency and actions. Mother Gaia can't absorb our negative or low vibration energy if we aren't properly rooted. If we are properly rooted and grounded and then tapping into unseen spiritual realms, our energy system is working properly, and any low vibration energy from fourth dimensional parasitic beings can just flow through and be absorbed and transmuted by Mother Gaia. Then we will be able to successfully connect to higher guidance that fully resonates with eighth dimensional God or source energy. The fourth dimension is technically a higher realm. It is an unseen realm, and the fourth dimension of this earth experience is currently hijacked by a false matrix. So if we aren't grounded and mistakenly connect to the fourth dimensional false matrix parasitic beings, we could be led astray. But because everything is about frequency and vibration, if we are high vibration people living in these high vibration emotions, and we are also fully rooted, when we go to tap into the higher realms, essentially the lower vibration energy of the fourth dimensional parasitic beings will just filter through us and be absorbed by Mother Gaia. And then we will connect to the higher dimensional energy that we resonate with. The fourth dimension is also called the astral realm. I don't recommend connecting to fourth dimensional beings. I've heard some people call these beings or energy trickster spirits. You might connect to these beings and they might say things that resonate to you as truthful, but then slowly lead you astray. Don't be afraid if you've unknowingly connected to them. They are parasitic and have no real power. Just step away, spend time in nature, ground yourself, and do a guided activation to align your chakras. I talked about this before, but this could really scare someone if they aren't aware of this bigger picture. I talked about this in my episode about spiritual traps, but if someone unknowingly connects to fourth dimensional beings and goes through this experience, it could be extremely scary and derail them on their spiritual path. That's why it's really important to understand this full big picture. My recommendation for daily practice is to begin every meditation by calling in God's protective light and then anchoring in God's energy and aligning your chakras and visualizing a cord grounding yourself into Mother Gaia. This is a helpful practice, and I recommend doing it at the beginning of every meditation. Also, just realize darkness does exist in the unseen realms of this current Earth experience, and they are in the fourth dimension astral realm. So do things to protect and cleanse your energy. Do things to keep your energetic system strong. I talk more about how to protect our energy on another episode, so go listen to that if you haven't yet. I also previously posted a guided activation to cleanse and align your chakras, so I recommend going to listen to that as well. Also, if you like to have crystals around, make sure to cleanse them regularly. Depending on the crystal, they either absorb energy or enhance and amplify energy. They are really useful and powerful, just make sure to cleanse them. I really recommend meditating often and opening each meditation with a protection prayer, like I mentioned, and also open with a visualization of chakra cleansing, alignment, and rooting. That would serve as good maintenance to ensure you are regulating your energy properly. Like I said, this is a pretty short episode, but I just wanted to give a little more importance of the chakra system and grounding yourself properly. A lot of the previous episodes I've been talking about really rely on the chakra system. And I do believe that a lot more people are going to be having spiritual awakenings. And like I talk about, your third eye might just open and you might not be regulating your energy properly in your lower chakras. And if you're not rooted, like I said, you could be unknowingly led astray, and it could be scary, and it could potentially derail some people. So I just thought this was a really important episode to bring up again and talk about some more. But like I mentioned, take some time and go back and listen to those episodes I mentioned. Specifically, listen to the episode about spiritual traps and do the guided activation and cleansing of the chakra system. Also, on very recent episodes, I talked about good formulas or methodologies that people could go along with when they meditate. I've been really liking the Insight Timer app on my phone, and it's not guided, it just plays an ambient sound for whatever time you set your timer to. So I have my own formula or methodology in my head, and I go along with that. I've talked about that in some previous episodes. If you feel like you don't really know how to meditate or you've just been going off of other guided meditations, I really recommend listening to my formula because you could start there and then find your own rhythm and your own flow. I'll just go over it quickly, actually. It won't take very much time. So, in every meditation, I start with my hands over my heart. And I really focus on my heart because that is one of the chakras that anchors in God or source energy. And I really feel it in my chest. I feel this expansive and magnetic feeling. And depending on how you sense energy, you might also feel it, or you might actually see colors in your mind's eye. I also open up every meditation with that protection prayer. I just say, God, please shine your bright light of protection down around me. and that's just calling in protection. And then, like I mentioned in this episode, I start off every meditation also aligning and cleansing my chakras so I can be properly rooted. And to do that, once I feel that God energy anchoring into my heart chakra, I just picture it flowing through every chakra and I imagine and visualize them all aligned and spinning. And then I imagine a cord going from my root chakra into the earth. And I imagine any negative thoughts that come up, or any negative emotions, or any negative vibes going down that cord and going into the earth and being transmuted into neutral energy. And then from there, I just focus on my breathing. I focus on breathing in God or source energy. And with every breath out, my intention goes with my breath. And where your intention goes, energy flows. So whether you are breathing out that intention and energy to go towards your own intentions and your own manifestations, if you want to focus on what you want to create in your reality, or if you want to focus on healing a part of your body, or if you want to focus on sending light to a friend or a loved one, or if you want to imagine yourself sending this light to all of humanity or Mother Earth, just use that formula. You breathe in God or source energy, your body is the vessel for this light. And when you breathe out intention. So, whatever you want to put your intention towards, that's the formula I use essentially. And then once I'm in that theta brain state, sometimes I feel guided to do specific things or insights come up. So I leave it pretty open as well. I kind of go along with the flow, but keep that formula essentially. So I recommend trying that and just practicing that for a while and seeing where that takes you. And then every meditation, always end in gratitude. All right, that is all I have for today. I hope that was interesting. If you did, please subscribe and give me a 5-star review and send to others that you think this would resonate with. I love you all and have a great week.